Hello and welcome to my latest career video. This career video, tongue-tied, features one of the early great welterweight and middleweight champions, one of the great fighters of his era, Tommy Ryan. So we will go through the career of Tommy Ryan. As you can see, he only suffered 2 defeats in a 100-plus fight career. Great fighter in his time he was. So let us begin with his major opponents. So Tommy Ryan starts out on here with a 6-fight series against former 2-time undisputed welterweight champion Mysterious Billy Smith. Now, Tommy Ryan scores 3 wins with no losses and 3 draws from those 6 fights. He also scores a singular win over early great middleweight champion, the untouchable, nonpareil Jack Dempsey, not Jack Dempsey, the heavyweight champion, before also holding a win over former coloured middleweight champion Frank Craig. Next up is Jack Room, whom Tommy Ryan fights to a draw. He then fights and gains a win over great light heavyweight fighter and Hall of Famer Philadelphia Jack O'Brien. Before facing one of the 2 opponents to defeat him, that was the dangerous Charles Kid McCoy, Tommy Ryan scored no wins with 1 loss and 2 draws from a trilogy of fights against Charles Kid McCoy. He also defeated very capable contender Tommy West on 2 occasions before then fighting the second fighter who beat him, George Green, aka Young Corbett, the original Young Corbett. So Tommy Ryan scored 2 wins with that 1 loss and no draws from the trilogy against Young Corbett. He also scored a win over capable contender Danny Needham in an individual fight, before then also gaining individual wins over Dick Moore and Jack Collins. Next up on here is Billy Stift. Tommy Ryan fought him on 5 occasions, scoring 5 wins. He also fought contender Jack Bonner twice, also beating him both times. He gained a win over capable Charlie Johnson before then also fighting another capable contender, Young Mahoney, both of whom Tommy Ryan defeated in singular fights. So there's his first slide there, he only suffered those 2 career defeats in his whole career. So on to the second slide for his remaining names. He twice fought and defeated Kid Carter from 2 fights. He also scored a singular win over Jimmy Handler before later in his career, towards the end of his career, fighting a draw to tough middleweight contender from the era of Ketchel, Hugo Kelly. So that ends Tommy Ryan's major opponents there. So there are 34 fights highlighted there. Tommy Ryan scores 25 wins with only 2 defeats and 7 draws from those 34 fights. Incredible win runs he had there with only 2 defeats. So on to his stats. Tommy Ryan scored 68 knockouts in his career. He scored 19 knockouts in 3 rounds or less, and he scored 0 first round KOs. Now Ryan scored 3 KOs or stoppages over champions. He scored 2 against Hall of Famers, and he scored 4 against pound for pound fighters. Being a solid pre-rating era fighter, Tommy Ryan scored no KOs against rated opponents. He did box a total of 941 career rounds. He also fought a total of 213 rounds against champions and 188 rounds against Hall of Famers. Ryan also fought totals of 104 rounds against Hall of Famers and a total of 145 rounds against pound for pound fighters. So only 88 rounds against champions. He fought more rounds against Hall of Famers. Of course, when Ryan was first champion, there wasn't even the original 8 divisions. There wasn't even the original 7 divisions. So in the earlier 1890s when he was fighting, and then when he gained the welterweight title in the 1890s, there weren't even 8 divisions. There weren't even 7 divisions, showing the early time he fought. Otherwise, had there been more divisions, more fighters around who'd been champion, he probably would have fought more rounds against champions. He obviously fought no rounds against top 10 fighters, top 3 fighters, or ring champions. So on to his slide against champions. Tommy Ryan, had 10 fights against champions, being unbeaten. The 2 fighters he lost to were never world champions. Now, from those 10 fights, Tommy Ryan scored 6 wins with no losses and 4 draws. He defeated 4 individual champions, some great names too: nonpareil Jack Dempsey, the middleweight, Frank Craig, Mysterious Billy Smith, and Philadelphia Jack O'Brien. And he scored knockout or stoppage over 3 of those 4 champions: nonpareil Jack Dempsey, Frank Craig, and Mysterious Billy Smith. So when we go on to the slide for Tommy Ryan covering Hall of Fame fights, he had a total of 12 fights against Hall of Famers with a record of 5 wins, 1 loss, 6 draws. Now, Ryan defeated 3 Hall of Famers. They were Mysterious Billy Smith, Nonpareil Jack Dempsey and Philadelphia Jack O'Brien. He stopped, of course, Jack Dempsey and Billy Smith. So stopped 2 of the 3 Hall of Famers he beat. So when we go on to the pound for pound slide for Tommy Ryan, we see he had 15 fights against pound for pounders, including 8 wins with 1 loss and 6 draws. Now he defeated 5 individual pound for pounders. They were Mysterious Billy Smith, Nonpareil Jack Dempsey, Tommy West, Philadelphia Jack O'Brien and Frank Craig. And from those 5 pound for pounders he beat, he stopped 4 of them: Mysterious Billy Smith, Nonpareil Jack Dempsey, Tommy West and Frank Craig. I meant to type Craig. So, Tom Craig, though, is the same fighter, don't worry. So, when we go on to rated opponents, obviously, for Tommy Ryan being pre-rating era, he fought no fights against rated opponents, obviously. You know, Mysterious Billy Smith would have been a ring champion, Kid McCoy would have been a top 3 rated contender, Tommy West rated, George Green rated. He would have fought many rated fighters. Sadly, we don't have his numbers. So he has 0s against top 10, top 3 fighters or ring champions. Thus, he defeated no rated fighters individually and scored knockouts over 0 rated fighters. So when we go to his title fight numbers, next to last slide, okay, we can see Tommy Ryan has a large title fight record of 18 title fights, incredible winning record of 17 wins, no losses with only the 1 draw across those 2 divisions he titled. Tommy Ryan also defended those titles 16 times. He scored a total of 14 title fight knockouts from his 17 wins, but he scored 0 wins, of course, against top 10 fighters, top 3 fighters or ring champions. And against champions in title fights, Tommy Ryan scored 2 wins. He scored 1 win against a Hall of Famer in title fights and 4 wins against pound for pounders in title fights. I can't wait to get to more modern era and show you numbers for Floyd and Pacquiao and Alex Arguello and Roy Jones, Hopkins, because, you know, many fighters in modern era, when they do have full ratings and there's alphabet era, there's lots of champions around. It's amazing sometimes how many wins they have against champions and how little they have wins against Hall of Famers, because everybody nowadays has got belts. I mean, you know, you can be a number 1 contender now and wake up in the morning and WBO, you know, got a drone outside dropping a box off and you're like, what's this? Oh, I'm a world champion now, great. It's just the times we live in, I guess. So they have to keep them sanctioning fees coming in. So anyway, on to the final slide. The great Tommy Ryan, of course, captured the world welterweight title and the world middleweight title. He's also lineal champion at welterweight and middleweight, and also undisputed champion at welterweight and middleweight. So a 2-weight lineal undisputed champion. Does he get credit that Usyk gets? Of course not, because most people don't know who this guy is. Well, come to think of it, even like Canzoneri, who captured 5 undisputed titles across 3 divisions, he don't get any credit like Usyk either. But yeah, I think a few more people know of Canzoneri than Tommy Ryan even. But it just shows the nonsense that goes on. Anyway, I won't get running because, you know, Martin, big shout out to Martin up as well. Martin mentioned the other day about have I chilled a bit, or he was alluding to the fact I may have chilled a bit, and trust me, I ain't chilled a bit. I have not chilled a bit. I could launch a mega rant right now about a whole number of topics, but I'm not going to, because when I started this channel I said I would try and keep it boxing related and not do responses. I'm not guaranteeing I'll keep doing that going forward, because some nonsense that goes around is just crazy, but you know, I'm just trying to keep it focused on the boxing and building my channel at the moment. Who knows what may happen in future, but trust me, them rants are still there. It doesn't take much to keep me off. So there's Tommy Ryan. Okay, coming tomorrow will be another graph chart video at super featherweight, and then it'll either be the top 10 Filipinos or the top 10 light heavyweight by division, but I'll decide that tomorrow. But in the meantime, there's the great welterweight and middleweight champion, Tommy Ryan. I am the boxing librarian. I'm out for now.